Hey YouTube. I decided to start introducing different books that I've read or I'm planning to read or I know the author for those who like to read. So the first book I want to introduce is The Sins of a Good Wife, and it's by Sherry Berry. This is a young lady that I know. I've known her since she was probably about 7 years old. Um, and you can find this book on Amazon or Google Reads or just about anywhere where you could buy a book. It's in Barnes and Nobles, I think, and Books a Million. So The Sins of a Good Wife by Sherry Berry tells the story of Chastity, a good woman scorned, married to a man who can't seem to appreciate her worth. She soon finds herself with not only a marriage in turmoil, but also a broken heart, sending her into an emotional whirlwind and looking externally for what she is missing within. So I think that she does get into another relationship, y'all. This book is real good. Once you start reading it, you'll have a hard time putting it down. If you're like me, I'm the type that sometimes have to read a book on the weekend because if I don't, I'm gonna be up all night reading it, and then the next day I have to go to work, and I'm gonna sleepy at work because I done spent the whole night reading the book. So this is a good book, ladies and gentlemen. So again, you can find this book. It's on Kindle. It's on Amazon. It's on Google Reads. It's in the bookstores. The Sins of a Good Wife. And if you read it, let me know. There's also a screenplay being done here in Greensboro on the book, and I will be bringing y'all more about that. And I probably, of course, go to the play to support my friend, and so I'll be bringing y'all more about that. So the next book that I'm going to introduce, if I could find it, is by this lady right here, which is a very good friend of mine. We've been friends for, oh goodness, before I had my last baby, so more than 20 years. Um, and this book is called By the Rivers of Babylon, and it's by Cindy Brown Austin. Now, this book, the title to me can throw you off because it makes you think it's about one thing when it's not. This book is really about a lady who goes to church. Um, she's a devout Christian, very involved in church, Pentecostal. But she falls in love with a guy who's the exact opposite of her. He happens to be one of the top drug dealers in the city. Not like no lowly drug little fella trying to sell it on the street, but the top guy, the dangerous guy. She ends up falling in love with him. They fall in love with each other, and so this is what this book is about. So here's a little review or description. A gritty, sophisticated, supernatural street thriller that explores the nature of forbidden love and its power to transform even the hardest of hearts. And then the description goes into the character. Lincoln Duvall is the Third Ward's most notorious criminal, a drug lord, a known murderer who has sold his soul to the devil and abandoned his early roots of religious upbringing. But he falls in love with Gabrielle Sinclair, a street-savvy Christian journalist with the power to reveal his secrets and dismantle his entire organization. Good is pitted against evil in a dramatic showdown. Let me tell you, I just said that I'm the type that will pick up a book and start reading it like maybe around 5 o'clock and end up reading that book all into the night. Well, this book I definitely did that. I started reading this book one day at about 5 o'clock. She sent it to me. This book came out some years ago, and she sent me a copy of it. And as soon as I got it out the mailbox when I got home, I started reading it, and I did not stop reading it until I finished the whole book. Now that could have been because it was my friend. But actually, no, because I talked to other people who did the same thing, and the reviews are good. So um, it's worth reading. Now, this book was the was it the publisher? I don't want to get it right. Um, Zane was, well, let me just put it like this. Zane, y'all know Zane. She write a lot of books. The real sexy books, I guess is the word for it. And she did either was on Cinemax or Showcase or one of those channels. Her stories from her book was on one of those channels. Well, Zane was involved in the writing of this book, um, and she's a good friend of Cindy's also. I think they both live, well, I know Cindy lived in Hartford, Connecticut, and I think Zane lives up that way also. Um, but check it out. Cindy is an excellent writer. Like I said, she's been a good friend of mine for many, many years. Um, One of my best friends, actually. But Cindy has done other books. There's other writings that Cindy have out. This is her latest book. I haven't read this yet. It's called Cinders. Cindy is a journalist in Hartford, Connecticut. She used to write for the Hartford um, paper up there years and years ago. But I don't think she's with the paper anymore. But she's been putting out her own work. And she writes a lot about Hartford. I want to say the ghetto, but the projects part of Hartford and some of the things that they went through with her growing up and stuff like that. She deals with that a lot. She deals with a lot with the crime in her journalism. She deals a lot with the crime that goes on in Hartford and things like that. So check her out, Cindy Brown Austin. And so check out these 3 books. I haven't read Cinders yet, so I can't really, give a review of that. But I have read By the Rivers of Babylon. Oh my God, that book was so good. I mean, especially if you was raised in church or you are a church girl, whatever. And this book was interesting. It's the what if, very good love story. It's a thriller. It's just good. Trust me. Check it out. And then what was the other one I talked about? And then The Sins of a Good Wife by Sherry Berry. Really good book. It has great reviews on it. So check them out, y'all. So I'm going to be doing more of this, introducing books as we go into the winter months. You're at home more in the winter months. So I'm going to be introducing books. I'm going to be introducing some friends of mine that I think needs to be on YouTube. Corey Jones, DJ John Cromer, and oh my God, the third girl is slipping my mind. She's a musician. Um, Her name will come to me after a while. These are 3 people that I told them y'all need to be on YouTube. They have good content, and so I think they need to be on YouTube. So I'm going to be sharing some of their videos that I stole from other social medias and uploading it on YouTube in order to convince them to come on YouTube and start doing some content here. So this is Miss Cruiser. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a great, great day.